What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Maho Radio, the one and only anime radio show in the whole Sekai. I'm your host, DN, formerly known as Director Nasty. Today, we have a lot of good stuff on the show. What? The preview for today's episode, we do another round of Waifu Goddess Isekai. We have another Your Sekai Yo choice, courtesy of Arcane. We discuss Bleach, danmachi, Dan. We give out the weekly anime awards. And of course, the big question today, why are we mad at the Arcane finale and why do people hate it? Like, what is going on? That's just a brief preview of the things we'll be covering today. Please make sure you listen on Spotify. You share this out. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you go, whether you're watching it on the Clips channel, the DN the App, or if you're watching it on the Maho Radio channel, make sure you drop a subscribe. Make sure you share it with somebody that's going to share it to somebody that's going to share it to somebody else. And make sure, if you want to, grab some clips, share them, spread out the sauce to everyone. We're going to jump into the first segment called Just the Tip, as usual. We're just going to talk about some of the weekly anime real quick. We're going to get into it. And the first anime we're going to talk about today is motherfucking Zero. Now, look. This episode of ReZero was very much like another one of those ReZero saucy yap fest. But in a good way. There's not very many shows that I let get away with yapping. ReZero is one of the few. Slime gets the yap. Overlord gets the yap, ReZero gets the yap. What is the correlation between the three? Is it isekai? Possibly. But it's also the fact that they have done enough in the history of their show to let me know that if they're going to yap, it's not pointless yapping. The yapping's going to matter, and we're going to make sure that this yap is the yappiest of all yaps. So, Otto had the sauce on this episode that the tome he got is the one that Ruleswell had that burn. I remember Ruleswell had a tome. I remember he had something, but I didn't realize that the tome that they're looking for was the same one that he's holding, or at least a replica or a prototype replica, right? So Ruleswell was possibly still plotting in the background. I like that they're saying, yeah, right now he has no evil intent, he has no malicious intent, but this might be something that he set up in the past, and that because he already set it up in the past and he like kind of gave them these ideals, that they're just running autonomously with what he told them, so he doesn't really have to do anything. So of course now he has no malicious intent. Now he's not being murderous or trying to do anything funky, but what he's already set in motion could just be running in the background, so he doesn't have to do anything. Which to me, Otto, honestly, I continue to underestimate this man, but he showed me time and time again, he is highly capable in the things that he is adept at. Because sometimes you get a character and you're like, oh, what am I supposed to do here with this character? Like, are they smart or are they dumb? But sometimes they're just reliable. And right now, Otto, reliable as hell. Subaru and Krisha have a shared curse, it seems, through the dragon's blood. He can absorb it from her, but I don't know what that means moving forward for him. What do we do with that? Does he just absorb it all from her and potentially he dies and he has an RBD? Is that what we're setting up for later? Is this one of those moments where it's like, yeah, they have a shared curse and he could take it from her, but he seems not to have any repercussions so far, but I find it hard to believe that he's not. There's, in my mind, I'm thinking of something stupid, of like some time travel shit that somehow he is the dragon that saved them earlier, and like he just has an RBD to realize that it's him. But it also doesn't make sense because you would have to break space time for him to be both the dragon and himself in the same room to save himself later. So I don't know what to do with it. But it's just interesting that they shared a curse and he can absorb it from her, but I don't think she can absorb it from him. It's very, very weird. But because it's lust, I think it might have no. If it has anything to do with lust, we know that Felix lusts after Crush Sama. So if it had something to do with lust, Felix would be able to suck it up too, pun intended. But they can't. So something there is interesting, but I don't know what to do with it. We got the attack team set up. Subaru is gonna run Greed's Fade with Reinhardt. William is gonna go fight his wife in the 8 arms, which is a crazy thought. I like the little bit of lore they dropped in that one day the wife, who was the sword queen, sword mastro, she was like literally out here fighting this whale, and then just randomly on a whim in the middle of the fight, the power just leaves her and goes to Reinhardt. And I'm just like, that doesn't sound right. I feel like somebody did something. I feel like somebody hit him with a ritual circle, human Guegua fighty south something. Cause it's just crazy that it just up and left. I had misspeculated that, it's when he was born, or maybe like he hit his 5th birthday or 7th birthday, whatever it was. I don't think it's any of that. I think somebody did something. Or that spirit of the swordsman is so finicky that it just decided to leave her, and that in its own right is like, yo, what the fuck are we doing here? Emilio once again stood up to Greed. He's not happy about it, and he's gonna end the engagement, and not the way that you think. He's gonna put her 6 feet under. But like I said, the pull up happened. I thought it was hilarious that they kicked the doors in and the door slapped the shit out of Greed, but it wasn't the door that Subaru kicked. It's like, and Subaru's like, "Hey, bro, yo, you making me look like the punk here. We were supposed to do this together. Why'd you kick the door so fucking hard? Like, damn, bro." So yeah, Greed is funny because I don't know how to explain like how the Greed plays into this, but the same thing that he'll scold somebody else for is exactly what he's doing. And it's one of those things like, are you so greedy that you just feel you can do whatever you want and you'll just twist it in your own way? Or do you really not hear the hypocrisy coming out of your mouth? So a lot of times I don't know what to do with Greed, but it's pretty funny to me, man. It's pretty funny to me. But yeah, the ReZero definitely cooking this week. The pull-up has officially happened. I think we're at a break right now. We're not coming back for a couple weeks. I ain't gonna lie, fingers crossed we're at a break, because that means your boy gets a break. But at the same time, I mean, I'm hella excited. I forgot what they are calling this arc. I think they call it the counterattack arc. They're calling it the counterattack arc. I'm excited to see it. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be lit. And on top of that, my last little piece of ReZero lore that I want to go over is, I keep waiting for Subaru to RBD, right? I don't think he's going to RBD. I think the point of this current arc that's going on is to show us how much growth he's had, where instead of RBDing 20, 30, 50 times, I think he's like on cycle 4 right now, and he's looking like he's going to get shit done in his 4 cycles. Yo, honestly, if he gets away with getting it done in 4 cycles, bro, I don't even know what to say. Like, the amount of growth that shows, stellar, absolutely stellar. But let me know your thoughts below. Do you think he has an RBD waiting in the wings? Is his counterattack arc is it gonna go smoothly? Well, not even I'll say smoothly. Is it going to go according to plan, or are we gonna have to get an RBD eventually? Do you think some of these changes that he's experiencing are permanent? I would like to think he could get healed, but I don't know. We'll see. Let me know below. The next tip we're jumping on the bleach tip, but make sure you put on your mask so you don't get sick. This episode is actually pretty fucking hilarious, right? Because essentially, I thought we're gonna get a lot more from all the different sides, but this was very heavily focused on Kenpachi and Mayuri. And I just love the fact that Mayuri basically turned Kenpachi into his crash test dummy. Like he's like, I don't need to. He's like, I have my own crash out king with me. Nothing else is really needed. And it's like, what do you mean by that? He's like, yeah, I got it. Now you look back at like the previous episode where like Mayuri is kind of high key, low key foreshadowing that as long as he's with Kenpachi, he could do whatever he wants. And now we see that come to fruition. It's like, oh, you had no attention. I always thought, I'm like, Kenpachi and Mayuri working together doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know how you get those two intelligence levels to kind of balance out so they could work in synchronization. But here's the beauty of Bleach. You don't need them to actually work together. You just need them to complement each other. It's like yin and yang, bro. Like they just fit together like this, son, like a glove. It's beautiful. Mayuri never fights off rip. Kenpachi always fights off rip. Mayuri needs to take in information and stats to fight in a better manner, because that's what he does. He's like Bruce Wayne. Prep time. Let me prep, let me observe. Now I'm perfectly prepared for this fight. No. He's not Bruce Wayne. He is Seiya. He's motherfucking Seiya. Cautious hero. Mayuri's more like cautious hero than he is like Bruce Wayne. He needs to make sure everything's gonna go his way, then he jumps into the fight. And because he has Kenpachi here to basically go be his crash out dummy, it works perfectly. He watched Kenpachi do his thing, and not do a very good job at it. Got all the information he needed, and then hopped into the fray, and then it just got wild from there. Absolutely wild from there. We the big discovery is that like that thing they're fighting is the Soul King's goddamn other hand. I think it's hilarious, and I think it's ironic, and I think it's again beautifully written by Kubo that while Soul Society has the right hand of stillness, that Yahabawa would have the left hand of advancement because that's exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to break things down, but he's destroying it to build it up again. So I consider it advancement. It just makes sense that the hand is over there with him. Once again, my ear is flexing that he's 99% of Soul Society's genius in general. Urahaha is like the other 1%, but like for the most part, it's a bunch of meatheads over there. I always forget that Mayuri fights in such a hilarious but like heinous manner, like throwing acid. This man, the things this man uses is so off the wall, but it's such a good example of Kubo's like kind of like a goofy writing style and the things he just comes up with and thinks of. Cause like he's using like face umbrellas, and it looks like the things he's using to block stuff is like in pain as it's blocking, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? But it's always a good ass time. Um, oh yeah, no, that's really all I had about this one. Yeah, the fight itself was like it was gross because like I said, all the Mayuri's fights are gross. I like the things she was doing. I like that Nemu said a line in the middle of the fight. Like I hope he hasn't changed, and I'm like, what does she mean by that exactly? What do you mean you hope that he hasn't changed? It kind of threw me for a loop, but it's one of those things like I'm excited to see what she means by that and how it's coming back. Kenpachi losing an arm is actually not surprising at all. I'm assuming he's gonna get it back, but even if he doesn't get it back, I feel like because he's Kenpachi, he's gonna be like, oh, now I'm that's at a permanent disadvantage. Cool. And he's not gonna give a goddamn. But we'll see what he does moving forward. I'm interested to see what other fights and bunkais we're gonna get to see from the rest of the 13 court guards, and maybe Kenpachi himself might finally say the words. Like the thing I love about Thousand Year Bumbleclot War so far is like everybody's done playing. Everybody's dropping their bunkais, bro. It's bunkai left and right. Watashi bunkai, and everybody's just going crazy. So I'm excited to see what other bunkais are getting. Mayuri's was definitely weird as hell, but you know it just fits him. It just fits him, man. That's all I can say about it. It fits him. That's him in a nutshell. But let me know what your thoughts on Bleach. Do you think whose bunkai are we gonna see next? That sounds like such a sus question, but whatever. All right, next tip we're jumping on. We're jumping on the danmachi tip. Yeah. So the Freya fam is getting pressed for time, and Freya herself is brimming, sorry, brimming, is becoming unrecognizable even to her own children. I like that they set out this plot point that she controls the city, but people who weren't in the city when she did it, as they come in, you have to catch them too. I heard them say this, but I didn't realize the significance of it because I view the Freya family as like the top tip of the titty. But I gotta remember there's other adventures and other familias that can actually keep up and probably contend with them. And you really don't want smoke with some of those other familias. And I think that's what she's working on now. She gotta catch them as soon as they come out. I love that it's coming full circle that she's getting pressed. I think it's interesting because even her own children are starting to see like head on. Perfect example, he is clearly not with the shits very much. He's not liking he's like he loves Freya so much. Like this is insane. This is what I got about Head On, right? He loves Freya so much that he can see how much chasing Belle and not being able to get Belle is affecting her. So whether she likes it or not, he just needs this to be over. He's like, I'm gonna push this kid, and one or two things are gonna happen. I'm gonna push this kid till he breaks, and she's gonna get what she wants, and she'll go back to being the woman that I love. Or I'm gonna push this kid so hard he's not gonna break, and she's just gonna quit, and just we could kill him and we could move on. It's one of those things like regardless of which side of the paper his talisman falls on, he thinks he's operating the best interest of Freya. And I'm not gonna lie to you, he actually has a pretty good point. Because even I'm watching Freya try to break Belle, and we've reached the point where it's like, damn, girl, I thought you had this in the bag. This man's fighting you to fuck off. I really thought you was her. I really truly believe that you were gonna like you had a better chance than this, and you kind of don't. You really kind of don't. Like you're struggling, and your children are watching you struggle against this mere boy. The goddess of fertility can't fuck this boy. Like that's a sentence I never thought I'd have to say in my life, but here the fuck we are. It's embarrassing almost to a certain extent. And I can understand why Heden's like, yeah, this is not my Freya, bro. We got to get my Freya back to where she is. Put her back on that pedestal. I don't like her down here with us peasants. So I'm gonna make sure I push this boy one way or another. He's like, whether her plan works or not, I don't care. I'm actually not invested if her plan works or not. I just want her back. And there's something to be said about that with him. He's mad weird, bro. It's something to be said about them. Um, Hermes is smart as hell. Watching Hermes sit there, because I had been wondering if he's just like going about life, seeing that he is constantly fighting the charm, and every time he gets too far in fighting the charm, he gets reset again. And seeing that he'll fight it to a certain point, and he's spreading out information, and everybody got a little piece of the puzzle. It's fucking beautiful, bro. It's absolutely fucking beautiful. Like there's so many different ways to showcase intelligence. This was one of the better ones I've seen. Cause like when they cut to him, he's sitting there, he's like, yo, something's fucking wrong, bro. Something's wrong and I don't know what it is. And I can't just put my finger on it. I need some help. And his children are like, damn, Hermes, you still on this? He's like, did I tell you guys? He's like, just shooting the shit. Hypothetically, did I tell you guys anything to tell me later? Huh? And then they give him the phrases, and he has to re-put together the phrases. So you have to imagine he's been through like 10 or 11 loops like he's Subaru at this point, trying to figure out how to break out of the fucking genjutsu. And then finally, we get the crescendo of the middle of the season where he links up with Hestia. And Hestia, god damn, Hestia's looking fine this episode, boy. Oh my god. You know, me and Lee were having a big ass discussion. I don't know if we did it on camera or off camera. We was talking about Freya versus Hestia. And like Freya's cool and all, but like the case for Hestia is too strong, man. Cause like, besides being a fucking short stack, like Hestia has no L's against her. Like, sure, she's obsessed with you and she doesn't want you to have a harem, but at the same time, she's not like trying to restrict your free will or your personal freedoms. She loves you for you. Yo, she's definitely stacked on both ends of the court. It's like Freya objectively is badder, but she's oh, it was on camera. That's it. Freya has the outsides of a 10, but the insides of a brown paper bag. And I remember saying that on camera, and I was like, I don't think people are gonna like that, but that's really how I feel about it. Like it just like Freya is like the crazy. Like next to Hestia, like I'm sorry though, like the gap gets closer and closer. Like if you're just looking at body, Freya. You start adding everything else in, it's Hestia and it's not even close, bro. It's really not even close. I did like that Mamma Mia. The last thing I'll say about danmachi for now is I do like that they finally dropped the sauce of why Mamma Mia was not affected by the charm. And apparently, call me crazy, but I feel like I should have known this by now. Mamma Mia is apparently a high level adventurer, not just a high level adventurer, former adventurer. She was also with the Freya fam. It's like I should have known when they said she didn't fall under the Genjutsu. That should have been clue number one, that she was either A, high level, or B, a member of the Freya fam. But to be both is insane. But it makes sense because everybody who works at that tavern is low key a high level adventurer. When I say high level, I'm not talking about like 6 plus. In my book, actually, from my understanding of the danmachi universe, anybody who's level 3 or above, you're like in the top 10% of like all adventurers. Like it's not that common to be level 3 or higher. And I'm pretty sure every one of the tavern girls are level 3. And then that means Mamma Mia is at least like a level 4 or 5, possibly. That little piece of sauce they dropped, beautiful. And I like that she already knew what she was doing was like risky. And she's like, I can't give you the answers, kid, but I'm gonna tell you, like, yo, stand 10 toes down on business. Whatever you think, no, it's fucking true. Whatever you think it's true, just go with it. Trust your guts. So yeah, that was a dope ass moment too. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Hestia versus Freya argument. Let me know what you guys think about Freya's facade falling and about her family, her familia, not being on board with her 100%, or at least certain members of the familia not being on board 100%. I think it was, I think it's spicy that they're finally coming to terms with it. That everybody's not with it, but they're supporting it because it's her. But at the same time, it's like it's falling apart at the edges, bro. The edges are falling apart, man. All right, the last tip we're gonna jump on tonight is the dan 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 dan. I ain't gonna lie to you, baby. I'm gonna tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but. This episode was another perfect episode of balancing romance with the fights, bro. The Okarun, Momo, and Aira trio triangle and the beef and the misunderstanding is absolutely hilarious. The girls going at each other with the food thing in the beginning was goofy as all fuck. Where they're only talking while the food's in their mouth, like as they're being like they're trying to be as casual with each other as possible to not acknowledge each other. And she's like, I don't. She's like, girl, you think I don't like you because you dropped a wash tub on me? I could give a fuck about the wash tub. Bitch, you's a goddamn demon. And Momo's like, bitch, I'm not a demon. And Grandma's like, that bitch a demon. And just gassing that shit up. And I very much like, because I'm a simp, I very much like that they are not hiding the fact that Aira likes Okarun. Like, they're not hiding it whatsoever. I do feel like her liking him is very shallow. It's very Teen Wolf, Vampire Diaries, very Twilighty, where it's like he's one Romeo and Juliet. He's one thing and I'm another thing. I shouldn't like him, but I do. Oh my god! So it's definitely funny. It's cute. I like that she likes him because again, I'm a simp. But I also like that he stands 10 toes down, where he knows who he wants and what he wants to do. Um, she's also not gonna take no for an answer. Seems like, but it's gonna be weird. Her knowledge of love seems to be like learned from the hub for all intents and purposes because like what she thinks I'm almost positive 2 out of the 4 references they showed us of where she got her idea of love, pretty sure 2 of them are pornos, or at least one of them was definitely one, and the other one was like an eki or a hentai. So Shawty got all the wrong ideas, but Shawty also moving fast. So for my boy Oko, Momo better watch out. She better make sure she lock that man down, cause I don't think Aira's taking no for an answer. Like we already saw how this episode went. I don't think my boy Okarun is gonna last another one if he's getting pressed like this. It's good luck. It's good luck to him. Momo's jealousy at seeing him on top of Akira was sad, but I definitely enjoyed it. I like how they both had to go through and process their feelings after it happened, after the misunderstanding. Okarun realizing like, yo, I really just wanted to work out in private so that one day when I showed up powerful, she would think I'm cool as fuck. But Okarun has to realize, and he's not gonna realize it because he's new to this. She already thinks you're cool as fuck. That's why you guys are friends. You don't have to like go above and beyond. It is a cool thought though to one day just show up and be powerful, but that's not something you have to lie about. And he realized that Aaron is way. He's like, I shouldn't have lied to her. I had no reason to lie to her. I just wanted it to be cool. I wanted it to be a cool moment. But I shouldn't have done that to her. She deserves better than that. And on her side, her knowing Okarun's true character and nature, knowing that's not how he is, although she know what she saw and she knows what it looks like and she knows what the demons in her head was telling her, she's like, that's not him. She's like, that's not him. I should give him the benefit of a doubt. I should see what's going on or ask some questions. But before she even get the resolution, jumped by the motherfucking aliens, the Sarpo Sapiens, bro. What the fuck is these aliens' problem? I love that, like, as soon as something starts happening, like, you have to try to figure out, like, is this ghost shit or is this alien shit? What the fuck is going on? But in this one, it was alien shit. The only reason I figured out it was alien shit was because the way they, like, ended up, like, in an alternate dimension, like, somebody hit them with domain expansion. I'm like, that's alien shit. I like ghost shit. I was like, we've seen like 2 or 3 ghost shits, but the ghost stuff don't happen like the alien stuff. There's definitely like a cadence to the ghost stuff. So I definitely thought it was a ghost. Um, the Chapika dude was absolutely hilarious, but I don't know what the fuck his purpose was. It seems to me that they really just came for Okarun, that the Sable Sabians came for him. I don't have I kind of have proof, but not enough, so I'm leaving like that. We finally got the answer. Does Aira have powers? The answer is fuck yes, she does. And the question becomes, did the powers awaken because they sensed that she was in danger, or did the powers awaken because she got knocked out? There's a big difference there because there's her knowing she has the powers and using them. There's her being knocked out and the powers just taking over and using her body. And there's of course the option of, she just learned she has these powers, but just like Okarun, she has to go through the cadence of learning what she can and can't do, which will be the real interesting thing. I think she did like a tornado head spin. I feel like that's what she did when she first turned like onto mass. She like, so I thought that was fucking fire. So I'm interested to know with this one. Her look looks very similar to Okarun's transformation. So my question becomes, do you think that that's just the style of people who happen to be a hybrid of human and ghost? Or do you think because she likes him, she just kind of copied his style? Or maybe it's unrelated that she likes him. Maybe the style just happened to take that form because that's what she envisioned or she saw previously. So it kind of got copy my homework, but don't make it look the same. And she was like, all right, let me change it up just a little bit. So I'm excited for the next episode of Dan and Nan. See what they're doing with that one. See what we got cooking. I do believe that they said maybe it's not Dan and Nan. Something's going on hiatus for this week or going on break because of production issues. I'm hoping it's not Dan and Nan, but it might be Dan and Nan. Part of me is kind of happy because it's on Thanksgiving anyways, and we won't be able to watch it, and I'd have to dodge spoilers for like 5 days. But part of me is kind of upset because like we're starting to hit production issues. It's like, please God, don't let anything drop. I don't want to drop in quality. I don't want to drop in storytelling. I don't want to drop in like we have to start waiting weeks to get the next episode. If Dan the Dan experiences those issues, the hype is gonna die down so fucking fast, and that's not something I do think of all the currently airing shows. If anybody can handle production issues and come back with bangers, it's gonna be Dan the Dan. But at the same time, I understand with the 15-second attention span of the internet, if you miss 2 weeks in a row, you're done. It's finito. And I can't, I don't want that to happen to this. I just don't want that to happen to this. All right, that's the last tip we're on. We're going to look at the chat. We're going to catch up, maybe take in some calls real quick and see what we got cooking. Let me see. All right, let's see what we got in the chat. In the chat, we got auto max out charisma and luck. That's that. I'm fucking dead. And where the checkpoint for RBD even is, I don't even know. That RBD checkpoint, that's gonna be a far one, man. That's gonna be a far one. I'm excited to see what it is, but honestly, at this point, I don't think we should go back. Like the RBD, I feel like we've almost made so much progress that having an RBD right now, we go too far back. It's like, nah, man, can't do that. Can't fucking do that. And then on top of that, it's like, yo, wherever the RBD is, where the RBD checkpoint, where I would want it to be, is so far back that we can't go through all that. So that means the next RBD checkpoint is going to be something very fucking close. Very fucking close. So that means whatever happened with Crush-san is already done. That means Subaru's leg is like Dragon Blood leg. Like there's a lot of things that already happened where if we have to reset, oh boy. It's like, oh boy. There's certain things I want to unhappen. But like I don't think those things are gonna unhappen, so I don't know. I would like to see Mimi not get fucking cut, but I definitely know that checkpoint's passed. I know that checkpoint's passed, but whatever. It is what it is. I also love that Mayuri, a true mad scientist, finding the gods body in progress, especially after Mayuri's monologue about the perfection and how Rancor. Ooh, you came out spin on that one. What a beautiful, elegant way of saying that. I'm gonna read that again. A true mad scientist fighting the god's embodiment of progress. God damn. Literally, whew, that's deep. Hermes, you talking about danmachi? Yes, sir. What's going on, brother K? Freya's hot, but she belongs to the streets. On God, absolutely. Freya is fucking spicy, fucking hot. Like, oh my God, look at her. Look at her. Spotify, you didn't see that. Look at my hand is very conveniently placed, but I'm gonna move that out the way. That aside, Yeah, Freya's for the streets, bro. I can't do it with Freya, man. Can't do it. Can't do it. Maybe the checkpoint is after the speech. Yeah, even if the checkpoint is after the speech, that's not much better because that post speech checkpoint is very much giving big, oh damn, we're fucked vibes. Like there's a lot of shit that happened, and I just don't know how we come back from that. And I wouldn't want to. I definitely want to. But okay, let's jump into the community/quest board. We are caught up. On the quest board, I thought Freya's everything I thought Locken was dead. I feel that. All right, to the quest board. The first question we have for the quest board is a waifu goddess isekai. Here we got three. Arcane is a hot topic for this week. It's been the thing that's been popping off everywhere, left, right, and center. So this week's waifu goddess isekai choices, we have Caitlyn Kleinerman, aka Ku Klux Kleinerman. We got, of course, the crazy, the bombastic Jinx. And last but not least, but definitely, ooh, baby, the dark-skinned beauty, Mel Madara from Noxus. Of these three, who would you waifu? Who would you goddess? Who's getting the Isekai treatment? I did not do my due diligence. I didn't get a chance to ask Twitter. I did not get a chance to put the poll on YouTube because I thought of this very late, and that's my damn fault. But I'll tell you what, I feel like if I had a chance to ask, I feel like it would go like this. I want to talk about what the community would do. I'm going to talk about what I would do. First, what I would do, I'm waifuing Jinx, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Me and Jinx, look, she here for a good time, not a long time. And I'm gonna let it be known right now, it's gonna be some wild, crazy, electric shit. But I fully expect to die afterwards. I do. I expect to die shortly after. Or with her. I don't know. It depends what kind of mood she's in, if I'm being honest. But like I just expect it. I don't expect to survive the encounter. I expect it to be the last blast, the last bomb I ever have in my life. And if that's the case, so be it. That's my waifu. If that's what she wanna do, that's what the fuck's gonna happen. We out this bitch. R.I.P. We out this motherfucker. But I tell you what, hitting that shit's gonna be, and I know the fuck it is. For goddess, this is no surprise. Y'all shouldn't even be surprised because you already know I love that chocolate thunder. Yo, Mel Madara, that's the fucking goddess, bro. She the one, bro. Especially after that little upgrade she got. Whoa, let's get no. Let me not disrespect Mel Madara. At her base form, bro. Yo, in the bottom of that pit where she was in the genjutsu with no shoes on, looking like she was drinking puddle water for 4 days, I would still choose her. I would still choose her. She is objectively the baddest in the entire verse. The only person that comes close to her is her buff ass, sexy ass mama, but she's such a vile person that I don't get along with. She loses a lot of points. I put her in the Freya pool. You bad as fuck, but you also bad as fuck. I'm not doing that, so sayonara, bye bye. But Mel Madara, bruh. You know, I ain't gonna hold you. I like Mel so much. I realized in season one, when I was hating on Jason season one of Arcane, it was mostly because he got Mel. It had nothing to do with what he was actually doing. He was just cracking the back that I wanted to take my turn at. Simple as that. When you see it like that, it's like, it is what it is, man. Mel Madara, that is the goddamn goddess. I would bow at her feet. Her statue, I would erect statues of her to. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. So we're just gonna end it there. Mel is the goddess. And that leaves the Isekai. That goes to Ku Klux Kleinerman. You get Isekai for multiple reasons. First and foremost, I don't think you like me. I do have some good feminine features. I ain't gonna lie. I got some nice titties myself. But me and Ku Klux Klannerman, yo, we would go to smash clams and she'd realize I got a fucking crab leg down there and and she's booting me the fuck out. Objectively, her stats are pretty fucking good. Apparently, she's 6 foot. She's a leader of a city. She's rich as fuck, just inherited her mama's power and money. She has unlimited resources at her disposal. But at the same time, I feel like she has a lot of toxic tendencies that I just can't get behind. I don't like the will they, won't they that she goes through. I don't like her wishy-washiness. I don't like her choice in partners at times and how she has selective outrage here and there. I feel like we would have good times. I feel like our highs would be very high, but our lows would be the absolute worst. And worst of all, I view her as borderline kind of a cheater. I view her as a cheater a little bit. Not that she was like in anything serious with this other woman, but like, I kind of feel like she's a little too wishy-washy for my taste. At least with Jinx, I know what I'm getting. With Mel Madara, she stays 10 toes down, loyal, good person, on the right side of history. Ku Klux Klannerman, bro, she made a lot of L decisions, man. She did a lot of dirt. She hurt a lot of people, and she went through a lot of cringe moments. Moments of growth that led her to being a better person at the end, right? But at the same time, I don't want nothing to do with that, man. And to be honest with you, on top of the fact that we already know Jinx fucks with the brothers, Ku Klux Klanman, she don't get nothing from me. So she could get Izakai'd into another world for all I give a damn. Now, that's what I think. The way I feel like the community would go, I think community, if I'm being honest with you, I'm actually, you know what? I think I'm still gonna put this poll. I think I'm gonna put this poll out because I actually want to know the answer. I think the community would smash Caitlyn. I think they would goddess. I think they would waifu Caitlyn. They would goddess Jinx, and I think that Izakai Mel. I think community would Izakai Mel, which is interesting to me. And I don't know, and I feel like that's the wrong answer. But I also could be wrong because I do see Mel gets a lot of love. I do see Mel gets a lot of love. But I do think the community in general would goddess Jinx over goddessing either of these women. That's the one I feel strong on. But you guys let me know what you think. Make sure you leave a comment down below. If you're on Spotify, either go to the YouTube video, leave a comment, or comment right here on Spotify. Because why the hell not? Let's see. Let's see what the chat has to say about it. What's going on, OG? Waifu, Jinx, Goddess, Mel, Izakai the cop, Brother Boki's on the same point. Is this F. Merkill? Yes, yes it is, basically. Debating what you do late night gym sesh, do it. Never seen Arcane, you're missing out. Mel's gonna be my sugar mama, easy facts. Goddess, Jinx, Waifu, Izakai cop, Waifu remaining, I haven't seen Arcane. True, see? You have energy for that? Dead. You have plenty of energy and still comes home and squeeze the venom out? Oh god, oh my god, oh my god. Yo, yeah, go to the gym chest, OG. I mean, unless you trying to jump on Halo with me later. Unless you try and jump on Halo in like 30 minutes or so. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think below. The community here on Sauce My Whole Radio has spoken. We got one agreeing that is Jinx. Jinx gets waifu, Mel gets goddess, and Caitlyn gets Izakai. And then we have another one saying, waifu Jinx, goddess Caitlyn, Mel gets left out because they haven't seen Arcane, which is fine. Which is fine. All right, next on the quest board, we're jumping into Your Sekai, Your Choice. This one is also Arcane oriented. As you can see, it's an Arcane heavy episode. I ain't gonna lie, but Arcane has literally been like the largest talking point so far of this week because the finale happened. Right? So in this Your Sekai, Your Choice, if you haven't seen Arcane, you probably want to skip a lot of this. But with that being said, if you've seen Arcane, no, you don't have to see Arcane. The question becomes, if you got dragged to an alternate universe where all the problems you were facing in your regular universe didn't exist, but in this universe, you had the solution to go fix your universe, would you stay in the better timeline and live out your days and forget about your original timeline and let them suffer? Or would you get the solution from the good timeline and go back to your timeline? It's a tough one. It's very much a tough one because I'm in the school of thought. I'm in the boat of me personally. I think I'm staying in the better timeline and I'm not going back. It's one of those things where I can understand why getting the solution from the good timeline and going back to your timeline makes sense. I'm not opposed to either, but I'm also depending on what it is, I'm a path of least resistance type person. And on this one, I'm going to path of least resistance. If my life is good in this alternate universe, and if everybody I love is still had a good life or is living a good life or they're okay, I'm staying in the good timeline. And I'm like, that other timeline, I'm just going to act like it don't exist. Or I'll take what I know from the other timeline and use it in this timeline and make this timeline even better. The only way I go back to the other timeline is I would have to be in the new timeline long enough, like almost like Heimendinger, right? I would have to be in the timeline long enough that I realize I want my people back. Because sometimes when you jump into a new, better timeline, You know, the people that you know in there, they're not the way that you know them. You know, they didn't go through certain traumas or tribulations, so they're not the same exact person as the version that you knew in the bad time in the original timeline. I'm gonna call it the original timeline. So I could imagine how, like, if you're in the new timeline for long enough and you're like, nah, I miss how my people used to be. This timeline feels fake. Yeah, I'm going back. But I feel like I would need to be there for a little bit. Like Hyman was there for 3 years, just chilling, living out his life, doing whatever. And then he's like, okay, I guess it's time to go back. I didn't think you guys would show up, but since you're here, I guess I'll help you. Echo knew he wanted to go back. There was no doubt in his mind. Every moment he spent in the new timeline was spent working towards finding a solution to getting back to the regular timeline. And there's something admirable and, real stand up about it, but I don't think I got that dog in me. I couldn't make that decision on day one. Like if I had to make that decision on day one, I'm staying in a new timeline. I think it'll take me a couple years to decide if I wanted to stay or go back. But it's one of those things like because you don't know how time is moving, if it's moving in your favor or not, that every day that you spend there could be a day that you can't get back, or you go back and things are way worse than when you left them. So it's a decision you got to make pretty quick. If I have to make the decision on day one, I'm staying in a new timeline. If I had to make the decision on day 364, I'd probably go back. Do everything you got to do in this timeline, conquer what you got to conquer, smash what you got to smash, and then go back and fix your life. I don't know. There's something to be said about it. But comment down below. What would you do? What's your thoughts on it? Which direction would you go? I'm down for Halo on 30, but nah, Jinx would be the perfect fuck buddy if you survive. I never wait for cop, but it's fuck the police all day. I'm fucking dead. I love that. Put on our search, get the solution, and then each one teach one. That's fair. Probably going back, I feel like it'd be always feel off if I stayed in a good timeline, like permanent imposter syndrome. I feel that. I feel that. But I don't think I would care about the permanent imposter syndrome. I very much feel like I'd be like, yeah, I don't belong here, but at the same time, fuck it. It's good here. It's good. The bugs might still exist in new timeline, but they're not my peoples. Damn, y'all are better people than me. Y'all make me seem like a bad person. Honestly, I might be a bad person. I've already expressed that multiple times. I'm not the best person. But yeah, you're not wrong though. And I think that's very much a sentiment. The bodies might still exist in the new timeline, but they're not my people. Whoo, that's a bar. That's actually a bar. And that's the big thing about it. Just because they exist is not your people. You're not bad, you're also not good. I'm very chaotic neutral, yes. And my people being as miserable as me, I'm fucking screaming. This fucking guy. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. But okay. Let me know what you guys think down below. None of that Kumbaya BS. Yo, facts. I definitely don't got that. The next thing on the quest board, we got the 100 girlfriends who really, really, really daisuki want to jump on your nuts. That's coming back apparently January 2025. I didn't think we were getting this like the end of next year, but it'll get announced for January. I'm not gonna lie, this winter season coming up, it looks like it's gonna be absolutely fucking bananas, insane, crazy. I'm excited to see the new girlfriends, see the new hoes, see how they balance and interact with the current harem. I see from last season that it looks like there's gonna be like a main five up front with like shawties coming in and out as needed. But I wonder sometimes if the main five will get switched around. It's something that like I can't even fathom or imagine what they're gonna do. I know a lot of people read 100 Kanjo already. They're way ahead. They're like exposed like girlfriend like 57 or something, which is fucking insane when you think about it. But I'm very much excited to see how they're going to continue what they did last season, what the buildup is going to be. How do we keep this harm together? But with that being said, let's watch the goddamn trailer together, because why the fuck not? Are you ready, boys? Oh, wait, no, no captions. Oh. Oh. I don't know Japanese. Oh god. No, there has to be a way. Subtitles Japanese auto translate. Auto translate to English. Okay, let's try that again. No, this VA is crazy. Oh God, Jesus. I forget how bad some of these shotties are. Oh my God. I not know best girl. Oh, I forgot Mama. Oh boy. Okay. No, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna stop watching this. I did not expect this to be so spoilery. I regret watching that. I didn't realize what was going on until like halfway through. Yeah, so that was 100 Girlfriends trailer preview. I don't know why they would do that. I don't know why they would do that. Why would they start just spoiling who the fuck is coming next? Like, holy fuck. It happened so fast. It happened so fast. Yo, thank God. Thank God my ability to like both be watching and not be paying attention at the same time is so beautiful. I thought they were just like showing bitches, and then it wasn't until I was like, wait a minute, should I be like, I was like, wait. Oh, these are big. Oh, I don't know these hoes. Oh shit. Ah. Part of being a blind reaction, baby. It's a hard not life out here. It's a hard not fucking life out here. But yeah, with that being said, I'm excited for 100 Girlfriends to pop up. So yeah, I'm excited. So we're gonna have to be like 20 seasons. No, it really is. There aren't subs yet, I think. I capped. Can you believe that people shout on Black Clover for Asa shouting? On God. They showed them at the end of the last season. They previewed them on the last episode. Yeah, we skip previews though. We don't watch previews. We don't watch previews or nothing. All right. Next thing on the quest board is what anime songs can you listen to over and over again? And they put up the Dan the Nan, they put up the Blue Box, they put up Go Go Loser Ranger, they put up Mashal. I want to rank these four. I'm gonna tell you right now, these rankings, like out of these four, it's fucking obvious, bro. It's actually not even fucking close. I'm gonna tell you right now, Dan the Nan OP's number one, bro. I know Dan the Nan and Mashal have the same exact group. Yeah, they're 1 and 2. Mashal is in second place if I'm going to these four. Next, I'm not gonna lie, I'm going with Blue Box. Only because I couldn't even tell you what the fucking Go Go Ranger opening song is. I don't know it. At least the Blue Box one, it moves me, it puts me in the mood. I feel something. I don't even remember the Go Go Luger Ranger OP, bro. I don't. I don't. I really, really don't. But to be fair, if I like the show, the music tends to stick with me better. I'll throw out some honorable mentions. Season 1 OP for JJK. Anything by Yasiobi. Call It a Night OP is fucking fire. Dan the Dan is still like the hot heat right now. I did like the Chainsaw Man OP too. That one was fucking fire. There's a lot of good OPs, but ones that would make my playlist, basically anything by Creepy Nuts or Yasaboi is gonna make the playlist, bro. The free run opening, that's in that bitch. Fucking Idol Sama, what's it called right now? I can't think of it. Oshinoko opening, that's in there. Dan Dan Dan, Masha OP's in there. Call It a Night OP, that's Yasiobi, that's Creepy Nuts. Anything that they fucking touch, it's going on a playlist full time. I'll listen to that bitch over and over and over again. Goddamn. And honorable mention of Bunny Girl Senpai's opening too. Whoa. Sorry, I won't ever soil your ears like that ever again as long as I live, hopefully. But that song is fucking fire. What are some OPs that you got on the playlist? What do you listen to repeatedly over and over again? What do y'all got there? Gushing over Magical Girls OP and ED. Actually, Gushing Magical OP, not bad. I'm not mad at it. That's actually a good one, but I want to put that one up there. Dan Dan is the best it is. Dan Dan takes a cake. Bleach OP this year is good too. I'm not gonna lie. The Bleach OP, do I like it? Yeah. Would I put on any list? Nah. I'm not putting on no list. Not putting on no list. Domestic Hanjo, Suki. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind that one either. I like that one. Was that by Yasiobi or Creepy? That's not by Yasiobi. Creepy Nuts. I'm almost positive it's not. I haven't said something stupid. The True Grow. Oh, domestic conjugal. Oh no, you mean domestic girlfriend? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's that shit. That's that shit. Daily Life of the Mortal King OST. I'm not familiar with that. DBZ Rock the Dragon. Oh, Dragon, Rock the Dragon, Dragon Ball Z. That's a fucking throwback, bro. Woo! That's a good one. Loner No Life, World OP has good OP. I haven't heard that one. I just vibe to the OG Code Geass OP. I don't know if I know that one. I don't know if I know that one. Comment down below, YouTube, Spotify, comment down below. What anime OPs would you put up there as like some of the GOATs, some of the best? Keep it to more, nah, just put anything. I don't care. I'm gonna say keep it to more recent stuff, but I actually don't have a horse in that race. So do what you feel like you gotta do. And Guilty Crown, I'm not familiar with that one either. Okay, last thing on the quest board is this. I actually was today years old where I learned that people did not like Arcane Season 2. What I thought was a great piece of story building, world building, storytelling, character usage, just fantastic fights and animations, and I felt like they did a good job of expedited storytelling. People had completely shit on. They're upset, they're irate, they're not happy. So I'm gonna go through some of the tweets that I've seen where people are hating on Arcane. And I just want to address some of this hate because I feel like for every point that I've seen of why somebody didn't like Arcane, I have the fucking counterpoint to like what's their beef. I feel like I have insight onto what people want or what they thought they were gonna get versus what they actually did get. And I think playing that part, that's gonna play a large part into like why they feel like they weren't satiated. What my issue is with some of the criticism of Arcane season 2 is that I feel like people wanted a personalized experience, and because they didn't get what they wanted to see, they shit on the whole season, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, I can objectively say I've watched plenty of pieces of media where the things that I wanted to happen or I wanted to see did not happen. But that in turn did not make it a bad piece of media in its own right. It's just what I wanted didn't come to fruition, but what they did made sense. It was well thought out and articulated, and there was no ass pulls. I saw no ass pulls. So we're gonna go through some of these tweets. I'm gonna address some of these issues that people have with Arcane Season 2. Because to me, some of them, there's like one or two that are kind of sort of valid, but most of them just sounds like they didn't do what I wanted them to do, and now I'm mad, and so the season was bad. What? First tweet says, I think we found out what happened to the writing quality of season 2. And underneath, this is a quote tweet too. Arcane co-author Christian Link has confirmed that 3 new League of Legends shows are in development, with the next one in development for over a year. So the speculation here is that because the attention was split between Arcane season 2 and working on the next show at the same time, that Arcane season 2 suffered. I vehemently disagree. I don't think there was anything that showed that resources were pulled from the show, and so we got like a lackluster experience. Like, I would have to have you show me what specifically led you to believe that the diverted attention like took away quality. I thought the animation was fire. I thought the artwork continued to be good. All lines of dialogue, I've seen people complain, say the dialogue was kind of lame. It's like, no, I feel like they were very choosy and impactful with their choice of dialogue, and how somebody would say one thing early, and then that would be a foreshadowing for something that happened, and then line dialogue would come back later, and it's like a complete full circle moment. I feel like Arcane did that in season 2 so fucking well in so many ways. And I just don't see, and I don't agree with the idea that diverted attention gave us a watered down product. I feel like we got the whole goddamn shebang, but some people feel otherwise, which is okay. The next tweet, I cannot even lie. Season 2 of Arcane is so absolutely disappointing to the core, constantly mischaracterizing characters, which is a weird thing in itself. Forgetting subplots, don't know what got forgotten, and messily concluding a show that deserves so much more runtime to make work. I just disagree with this because like what characters got what mischaracterizing a character is like a nonsensical statement. Like if the character is being crafted in front of you as you go, like how are they being mischaracterized? You just didn't know that about that person until it's revealed to you. Now I do understand that Arcane has lore, previous lore because of League of Legends. So maybe they're comparing like what the League of Legend lore to what Arcane is doing with the show in its own right. But I feel like that's an unfair comparison if that's what you're talking about, mischaracterizing characters. Because how do you mischaracterize a character if you're learning about this character as it goes? But if you're having previously established notions because of lore and what's being depicted goes against the lore that you previously knew, there's a little disconnect that you have to have there and be like, okay, this show, while although it's inspired by League of Legends, it's taking a different route and approach to what they're to this character is like to this character's character, for lack of a better term. So to say that that sounds that I don't get that one. That one I don't get. I didn't see anybody I didn't see anybody get mischaracterized. I did see some people where like you had a perception of them and then through their learning or their experience they had to change their perception and they changed their attitude, but that's again, that's growth of a character. Forgetting subplots. Now, I'm going to put my hand up and say there was a time where I thought Arcane did forget a subplot, but that's because I thought there was only 6 episodes for the season. I didn't realize 3 more was coming. So I was like, so we're just not gonna do anything with Echo and Heimendinger? Like, we're just ending it right here with Jace blowing these people to bits? Okay. And then 3 more episodes dropped, and I was like, oh, they didn't forget the subplots. There's no subplots forgotten. The Savika subplot got completed. She's on the council. The Isha one got ended. Jinx's got ended and done. Vi and Kate's got ended and done. It came to a conclusion. And Bessa's got done. Like the only thing that I could say a forgotten subplot is whatever the subplot was with the Black Rose, with the Black Rose people. That's the only subplot where it wasn't forgotten. I just feel like it was very much barely touched on and kind of glazed over. That's why I'll give them. Messily concluding a show that deserves so much runtime to make work, I think it worked fine. Do I believe we could have gotten? Do I believe that we could have gotten another episode to expand on some mini subplots? Yes, we definitely could have used another episode to get a little bit more sauce. I would have liked to seen. I would have like if we got another episode. There's some things I would have liked to have seen, but because I didn't see those things does not mean it was bad. Because I didn't get all those things does not mean it was bad. It just tells me either one, it wasn't as important as I thought, or it was just like a little subplot to move things along, or two, they're setting up for something later in another show that when it shows up, you're like, oh, this is connected to that. I don't know. I'm not a writer. I'm not working for the show. So it's really one of those things. It's like to say that it's a messy conclusion. I don't I just that one I could see a little credence to, but I still don't agree with it. The next tweet. Now this tweet is what got me. Too many montages, over reliance on off-screen development, pacing issues, relationships felt hollow, dialogue felt off, Jinx and Isha dying was cheap, the ramifications of martial law weren't meaningfully addressed. Where was Kate's redemption arc? Pointless characters. Now, this one for me is just saying a whole bunch of nothing. Too many montages. So the first thing, the two things, right, back to back. Too many montages, over reliance on off-screen development. Buddy, the montages was literally the developments you were looking for. And then the ramifications of martial law weren't meaningfully addressed. If you watch the montage at the beginning of some of the episodes, they literally showed you what was going on in Zaun and how people were rising. There was literally a whole episode of the Zaunites coming together under the martial law. Like, what? Unless we're talking about the martial law at the end, where it's like, no, we was already in war times. Like, what are you talking about? This is one of those ones that's like, I would say borderline brain dead, right? Pacing issues, I had no issues with the pacing. I do, like I said, do I wish there was one more episode to expand on some things? Sure. But to say it has pacing issues, hard disagree. Relationships felt hollow. that's I don't know what to say about that. Cause like you if this is Arcane season 2, all the relationship stuff was already well established. If you're looking for it to get deeper in season 2, I can understand that. But you have to understand the this like it's I'm getting too worked up. I'm getting too worked up. The relationships felt hollow because at this point of the season, it is not the focus. It's very much at this point, everything is coming crashing and crumbling down. We've had people go through 2 or 3 emotional episodes of like complete breaking down, losing their minds, being at the very bottom of the barrel of their mental stability, and trying to crawl their way back to some semblance of normalcy. And you're worried about if they're in a relationship or not, or if it feels hollow or not. I feel like, perfect example, the Kate and Maddie relationship, if that's what you're talking about, the relationship feels hollow, it's supposed to feel hollow. It is supposed to feel hollow. That was not supposed to be a fruitful, beautiful, oh my god, loving relationship. It was literally a rebound at a horrible time of like martial law, unrest, uncourt unruliness, basically a foreign invasion on your doorsteps. It wasn't supposed to be about. It's not supposed to like. How do you grow a relationship in those conditions? So yes, it felt hollow. But I can't imagine that's a relationship you're talking about. Everything between Vi and Kate was already built up. Everything between Jinx and Vi was already built up. Everything between Vander, Jinx, and Vi was already built up. It was established. So for you to say it's hollow just tells me that you don't remember, you didn't give a fuck about season 1. I don't know. I don't think there was pointless characters. Kate's redemption arc, her redemption arc was her turning on Mbessa. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, sometimes I'm like, we couldn't. There's no way we watch the same show. Sometimes things like this happen. I'm like, we couldn't have watched the same show because the way you're talking, it's like either everything went over your head, or I assumed too much, and I'm making a narrative that wasn't ever there. And I find it hard to believe that I'm making this shit up. So yeah, it's weird. And then the last one, I don't hate season 2 like most of Twitter seems to, but I'm pretty bitter hearing this. I think there's a big reason behind a lot of people's complaints. I wish Arcane got to properly go through its story instead of them using season 2 as a sort of backdoor pilot to set up their own MCU. So this comes back to the diverge attention idea that season 2 of Arcane wasn't as great as it could be because they were too busy focused on setting up the next step of evolution of the Arcane of the League of Legends universe. I almost called the Arcane universe, but that's wrong. It's the League of Legends universe. I just gotta disagree. I just gotta disagree with this because if I'm being completely honest with you, again, I feel like they could have been one more episode. There could have been an episode to kind of build on the Black Rose point. There could have been another episode to build on, the Mel's Mbessa, what her problem, what her connection to the Black Rose is, should have been like an understory. I think we could have got, I think we could have got like a little bit of in that extra episode, we could have got a little bit of like Jinx going through like the depression and whatnot. But from my understanding, like as soon as it was done, she just went and locked herself up, and she was locked up for a whole bunch of time, and she was just in there just being depressed. And one of those montages that once again people are talking about too many montages. The montages matter. A montage at its core is used to move time forward in a quick way, but also tell a story so that it doesn't have to be explicitly said to you. And again, could the Arcane have used an extra episode to flesh out some of the subplots and give it like a deeper, better meaning? Sure, I won't deny it. But to discredit the whole season off of that, I feel like it's disingenuous and it's not fair to the creators. That's just my point. Oh, and I lied. The last tweet. No Isha memorial. No Sveka learning what happened to her. No Jinx mention about her. Vi didn't give a fuck. Her sacrifice didn't even kill Warwick. They just used her as a plot device for one act and then no mention of her. Yeah. There, from my understanding, there was Isha references in the last fight. I can't speak on it because when I first watched it, I did not catch it myself. It was something very much I just saw skimming through Twitter where it's like, yeah, the color scheme and the things on Isha's helmet, was the same thing on the balloon that Jinx used in the final fight. And I'm like, yeah, that's a mention right there. That's one of those subtleties where it's like it's inspiration without being told. Like if you need to be told some things, it's like, then what are we doing? Does Sedka learning what happened to her? Like, what does Svedka learning what happened gonna do? I don't understand. No Isha memorial? Like, who would memorialize Isha? No, no offense to Isha, but outside of Jinx, Isha didn't really have anyone. Even the people of the streets would see her, but she just looks like Jinx, but like a form of Jinx, but just smaller. They didn't know exactly who Isha was. Like very few people knew who she was. So like, why would the whole community just get together and just magically like do a memorial? Like all respect to Isha, because that fucking MVP level shit literally saved a whole bunch of lives in that moment. But like that doesn't make sense. Story wise, Isha having a memorial, Svetka having a reaction to it doesn't make sense. Jinx not mentioning her. Jinx went through her depression. That's what the montage was for. Vi didn't give a fuck. Yeah. Does Vi really give a lot of fucks about a lot of things? Not really. And yeah, she was a plot device. She was a plot device to bring Vi back, to bring Jinx and Vi back together, to form that family, to give Jinx the experience of the Vander experience. And that was her purpose. That was her purpose. So it's again, a lot of the hate that's happening, I see surrounding Arcane is very much, this is what I wanted you guys to do. Why didn't you do this? Your whole season was trash because you didn't do this. And it's like, nah, you can't. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Let me know what your thoughts are below. Do you feel like Arcane could have used one more episode, 3 more episodes to flesh out what people wanted to flesh out? Do you feel like the montages and some of the subtle moments that Arcane used, did it go over people's heads and they didn't realize it? Or are they just being picky and choosy about being selectively outraged about Arcane? Let me know what you think in the comments below, because truly, this is one of those ones that honestly confused me. It honestly confused me. Now, the Arcane criticism is mostly just dumb. These are some issues, but not nearly that bad. Reading this makes me so pissed that I want to call in Tule Boki. They're building upon already established relationship, not establishing them. Thank you. Thank you. That part. I think that's a big part of it. One of my favorite parts of Arcane Season 2 was because we already had so much information in things from Season 1. Like, we didn't have to go back and reestablish shit. We really just got into it. We could just get into it. Jace is doing this because we know Jace is going this path because this is who he was in the past. This is what he thinks. This is what he feels. And this is why he's like, great. Mel, this is who Mel was. This is what she learned. This is how she's going to apply it. Great. I didn't need to get the full fleshed out backstory, because if I still remember and I still have the information from the last season, everything that everybody did in this season, it just made sense to me. In season 1, I cringed so much. There's so many moments in season 1, I'm like, why are you doing this? Why would you do that? Why? But season 2 had already established everybody's what's, whys, and hows. It had already established it. So Victor going off and thinking what he's doing is the right thing, it just makes sense. I honestly think comprehension is at an all-time low. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I hate sounding like that. And I know I sound like a dick saying it, but I really believe comprehension is at an all-time low. Not saying that mine's is much better. Not saying that I'm above people because, oh, I understood and saw some subtleties. No, I just think that not everything needs to be explicitly said. I think the show does a great job of showing without telling. So you got to be paying attention. You got to pick up on the subtleties. And I just feel like, people have lost the art of consuming, and people just want to run through stuff so fast that they don't slow down to really take in what's happening in front of them. But it's ridiculous. I'm probably waiting for the rant to end. All good. All this sounds like rage bait. Honestly, yeah, a little bit. That's what I would. That's what it comes down to a little bit. I think it's a little bit rage bait. But I also know that everybody, including myself, has become like expert dissertationists, where everything has become a think piece. Everything has become like an outrage, or everybody has like a wild left or right opinion or extremist opinion about something. And frankly, a lot of these arguments are made in bad faith, and they're very disingenuous, and people are just getting shit off to get shit off. And I'm honestly glad, like, if there's one thing you notice about a lot of those tweets, a lot of them aren't getting a lot of traction. Do they pop up in the algorithm? Yes. But a lot of them aren't getting a lot of traction, which tells me that cooler, smarter heads are mostly prevailing. But to see that there's a subsection of people that are acting and think this way, it's pretty incredible to me. It's pretty fucking incredible to me. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But that is the end of the quest board. We're gonna move on to the last segment. We're moving into the awards of the week. And the first award of the week, we have the romance of the week. This romance of the week, we're giving it to Ranma and Akane at that. Cause look, let me tell you a little something. Let me tell you a little something about Ranma and Akane, bro. After watching his girl fight for the possession of another man, and then losing his virginity to a different man, Ranma finally got his moment to shine with Akane at the highlighting what was gonna be a good episode and really turning into a fucking great A1 10 out of 10 episode. Once again, the last 3 minutes of Ranma just completely stole the show. Absolutely stole the show. And also confirmed what I've been known for at least 4 episodes. And it's this. Akane likes Ranma, and Ranma likes Akane, bro. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, we always see this little back and forth. They both protest, but they also look at each other in certain ways. And they got the love you puppy dog guys and shit. But this episode, there was no running away from it. There was no misunderstanding. It is flat out in our faces. What really made this episode stick is like when they got confronted with bullying each other into experiencing a first kiss, Rama literally respectfully backed out. And that says a lot. If he didn't like her like that, if he was just a dog, he'll go get that kiss, that lip virginity, and just dog her ass out later. But he's like, nah, I actually like this one. I don't want to fuck this up. And I'd hate for our first kiss to be just because we're having a game of lip chicken here. You know what I mean? He's like, I want this to mean something, so I'm not gonna kiss you. And then as soon as she says that, as soon as he like backs out, she like gets offended. She's like, oh yeah, that'd been weird. He's like, whoa. It's like, yeah, it's not like you like me or anything. He's like, no, that's not what I mean. He's like, that's not what I mean at all. And he clears it up immediately. And it's one of those times where she's like, oh yeah, I guess you don't like me. He's like, that's not what I said. And she's like, oh. And that moment of acknowledgement between them, it's like, yeah, girl, I like you. And she's like, you like me? It's like, yeah, I like you. I don't want to just do anything. So it was fire. It was absolute fire. I like that Ron was usually kind of like a meathead in moments like this, but like the last couple, like throughout the season, we've seen that he's fumbled or fucked it up a couple times like this. But on this one, he's like, I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. And I know it's funny enough because earlier in the episode, he called her not cute, but he knows she cute. And I definitely enjoyed it. This moment right here, where he pulled her in like this, yo, y'all don't understand. When it comes to romance, you know, sometimes people think like seeing the biggest titties or the nicest thighs or like full on makeout with the spit swapping is like the best part of romance. But a lot of times it's little moments like this where it's like you're next to each other and then you just get close, but it's like too close, like intimately close, and you're just holding it. Sometimes that's better than the kiss, bro. Like this intimate moment they had right here, where like she's like in his lap, curled up, fully disarmed, forehead to forehead. Whoo! If you ain't never got a shawty like that, the tension in the room. Oh my god, you could cut that bitch with a butter knife. Ooh, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. But yeah, romance of the week goes to Ranma and Akane. Last 3 minutes acknowledging their feelings. I thought it was amazing, fire. And yeah, it is just fucking beautiful. They do a great job of Ranma. I look forward to every episode. All right. Next award of the week, we got funniest moment. Funniest moment. This is an easy one, man. This is a real easy one. We're giving this one to Okarun and Aira for a misunderstanding in front of Momo. I knew the moment Momo was walking around and she walked up on this scene and she saw Okarun on top of them. I'm like, I need the rewind. I need to rewind. I need to go back in time and show me how did we get here? Because I know without even watching, I was like, this is not Okarun style. There's a 0% chance Okarun would be on top of a girl like this. 0 fucking % chance, bro. So I need to see how we got here. And the way we got here was absolutely hilarious. With Aira pressing this boy, bro, and he was fighting her. They were literally wrestling, grappling at one point. She's over here trying to kiss him, and he's over here like, get the fuck off me, girl. Like Momo, my man was fighting for his life to save his lips for you. You don't even understand, fam. I thought it was fucking hilarious. She was pressing the hell out my boy. She was using all her P-Hub knowledge, all her hentai knowledge, all her goddamn OF knowledge, every source of boy stealing that she ever read, she was going to use it on my boy Okarun. And thank God he decided to work out today. Otherwise, he might have lost this fight, bro. He might have lost his fight. And I think it's interesting to see that her and her friends, I think they might do jujitsu or something. Because the way she pulled that trip move, yo, she took his ass out, bro. Took his ass out. It's a good trip move. I'm gonna start tripping niggas. I'm telling you, next time I get into a fight, I'm 100%. I'm throwing one of these leg sweeps and fucking choke slams. Ooh, I feel bad for them. Hopefully, I don't end up in a fight because that's not the point. But yeah, this misunderstanding moment between Aira and Okarun and Momo walking up, completing the triangle of terror, the triangle of pain, the triangle of heartbrokenness. Fucking hilarious. The whole goddamn thing. Like, I can't say it enough. My favorite part is they were literally boxing. They're literally fucking grappling and fighting for a kiss. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that depicted, like, in, like, such a kind of serious manner. Like, I think I've seen it, like, in 100 Girlfriends. Yes, it happened in 100 Girlfriends, but they're under some sort of love spell. This is literally just a girl after a boy, and because of all the telenovelas and all the romance novels she's read, she thinks that she's just supposed to confess and then kiss him. And like, that's just how it goes. Like, she's completely trying to violate the boy. It's fucking insane, but funniest fucking moment all week, bro. Without a doubt. Next funniest moment, we got, next award, we got Hands of the Week. Hands of the Week, boy. And the Hands of the Week goes to Mayuri, Captain Mayuri of the 13 Court Squads in Bleach versus a literal fucking hand. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Hands of the Week goes to a hand. You heard it here first. The fight was actually fucking dope. It was an amazing fucking fight. Round of applause. Give him a hand because not only did Kenpachi lose one, Mayuri used one to get away while he was fighting one. Like, it's like a triple entendre. It's Hands of the Week, a hand using a hand, and Kenpachi gives him a hand and he escaped with the hand. It's a singtuple entendre. I'm fucking cooking right now. Somebody praise me, son, or give me a round of applause, whichever. Singtuple entendre. I'm on fucking fire. But anywho's, no, honestly, the fight between Mayuri and the fucking left hand of the Soul King was very poetic, very beautiful. I thought it was absolutely gross that it's just a ball of nerves and it just reaches out and affects everything. It very much reminds me of Fushi. What's the name? To Your Eternity. Have you ever seen To Your Eternity? The big bad guy in that show does very much the same thing. It's a very similar entity. And the fight was very gross. The fingers getting cut off. The fingers becoming like the hands. The fingers getting cut off to become like a hand hydra was fucking hilarious. Mayuri's use of science to see that he hasn't been experimenting on the Quincies for no reason. He actually has viable technology from the Quincies. I'm telling you right now, if you didn't want a pair of those fucking Quincy boots, you're fucking crazy. Because not only does he have that shit on, that shit lets you hover. Like, that thing is fucking cool. So all his experimentation on the Quincies is paying off. I love in the fight that it's a classic Mayuri fight. He takes in information. Once he has enough information, he starts to act. And once he starts to act, it's not going to go in your favor. Even in a few moments where like he kind of got thrown off and like the thing got into his arm and he did the quick surgery and he's like, man, I'm losing my touch. I reattach everything but in the wrong order. It's kind of fucked up, but it's not bad. It was just a classic dope ass Bleach fight. It had the hilarity. It had the funny moments. It had the disgusting moments. It had the fucking giant baby sucking fingers. Gross as all fuck. But it was a dope fight. Literally one of the better fights of the fucking week. Those are some good nominees this week, but I definitely felt like this fight was the highlight. Now, one thing about this fight, people will say those moments of the fight that had CGI and it didn't look good, yeah, okay. And it wasn't the whole fight. There was like 3 or 4 hand CGI moments where it kind of looked funky, but then there was other CGI moments where it looked fine, but it was always the hand that never met Yuri himself. So I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm just not gonna complain about it. I'm gonna look the other way because it's like it's Bleach. Number one, number two, it's like yeah, it could have been better, but like it's kind of hard to do like a hand monster. It's to even conceive in Kubo's mind, even conceive like a hand monster that's like Master Hand from Super Smash Brothers Brawl or Melee. It's like who thinks of this? One, but two, like they're doing the best they can to animate it. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I give it Fight of the Week, and that's just that. It was dope. The next award is Most Despicable. And today's Most Despicable is truly a despicable motherfucker. This man and Diddy would be best fucking friends, bro. The Most Despicable goes to Mikado from Ranma for stealing Ranma Shawty's lip virginity against their will. This nigga is the worst. Like, I am like this motherfucker is the type of person who really assaults people in real life. Cause like the way he even saved Rama the first time, like caught them and like spun them around and it's like, I've never seen a cutie like you before. Creepy as all fuck. I ain't gonna hold you because he's tall and he's handsome. This works on most shotties. Most shotties would just melt in his arms and he would get away with it. But Ranma's Ranma, bro. Wrong tree you're barking up. You keep fucking around, you're gonna catch a branch, my boy. And catch a branch later. Did he do it? I understand he gets the hose, bro, but it's no excuse to violate a lady's unknown lady's lips. And he did this moment is an L, bro. It's a big fucking L. I do like his gimmick though. Him and the girl's gimmick is actually fucking hilarious. To see that everything in Ranma is a martial art, is everybody always ends up kung fu fighting. It's fucking beautiful, which is even better when you realize Ranma fights for the school of anything goes taekwondo. So it just fits in that he would be willing to fight, whether it's on ice, on a field, in a ring, on a fucking fence. Doesn't matter. He's just gonna box you. But yeah, Mikado is fucking despicable, bro. Absolutely despicable. He set off a chain of events that he wasn't even ready for, and I can't wait for him to pay in hell. But I did like that Ranma got the get back. He fell into this dude's like ultimate tornado jutsu, but he ended up piecing his ass up. I really thought Ranma was getting their pockets ran, but they ended up, it was a draw, as Akane said. It was a motherfucking draw. So good on them. But yeah, this dude is fucking ass, bro. He's ass. Cause it was one of those things. It's like, wow, you saved me. Now your lips are on me. What the fuck are you doing? And I ain't gonna hold you. One thing I will say about Ranma in this moment is he wasn't upset that a homie kissed him. He was upset that it happened in front of his girl. Do with that info what you will. I don't know how to feel about it. Cause it's one of those things like, is he mad? Yeah, he's mad. Is he mad for the right reasons? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like if it wasn't in public and in front of Akane, how would he have felt about it? He was blushing. I don't know if is it an embarrassment blush or was it like I kind of like that, but don't do that in front of my girl. I don't know, Ranma. I don't know. I'm looking at you funny though, my boy. I'm looking at you real funny, boy. The next award of the week goes to Best Plot Twist of the Week. What? Oh, I deleted one. Oh well. Best Plot Twist of the Week. Don't ignore this. Best Plot Twist of the Week goes to Dan the Dan. Okarun being targeted by the alien and having to get saved by Aira, who has awakened her powers. It's supposed to be. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. It's supposed to be Aira showing off her skills. But yeah, I like that Aira has her powers. I think it's fucking dope. I like how cool she looks. As I stated, I'm trying to figure out if she looks like Okarun because she likes him, or does she look like Okarun because that's the hybrid. That's just how it goes. Like which one is it? Like what's the story there? Um, the fact that the big plot twist isn't that she has powers. It's actually because like I kind of expected it, but it's like one of those things like you kind of expect it, but I'm glad it's happened. It's more so that the aliens very intentionally target Okarun, right? Not only did they want his banana, which he just got back by the way, so like what the fuck, right? But they came prepared for him. They made sure they blocked out anybody that was under a certain spiritual level. They made sure that they brought something to specifically stop his powers from like his spiritual powers from manifesting. So they knew they were coming from either Okarun or they're coming for Momo because they came fully prepared. And then they went through like, yeah, man, we already knew you was gonna do all this shit. We came prepared. We're here to harvest that organ, and you gonna give it to us right now, boy. And it's crazy. So that means they're being followed. To what extent, I don't know. I don't know if we'll get a backstory on it, but I do feel like that the plot twist is they came to this school to jump the high spiritual people at the school very intentionally. So it becomes, are they being tracked? Is this a coincidence? Like, what happened? Because we've seen previously, for the most part, oh no, they're definitely getting jumped. No, they are being tracked. No, I answered my own question so fast. They tracked and followed them to Momo's house. Oh, no, no, no. Technically, they had been waiting at Momo's house, but they had the barrier up, so they couldn't get the Momo until the barrier came down. But no, they're getting tracked because although we know the barrier keeping them out of Momo's, how would they know right when the barrier went down unless they're tracking them? So again, fast forward, they jumped them at the school. I think they're being tracked, but I want to see what proof we have of that. I could just be talking on my ass. I could just be guessing. But I feel like they're being tracked. I feel like being tracked. But yeah. So next we're going to top assist of the week. Top of assist of the week goes to the girl, the most boring, the bread eater. I won't call her boring anymore after this, I promise. But it goes to Eyes for being the catalyst for the homie Belle to stay strong and now break for that bitch Freya and know that in his heart of hearts that he does not belong to the Freya family. He is not belong to Freya, and that he has a family that he has to figure out how to go back to. And reminding him of how the fuck he's supposed to fight, bro. Oh my god. I kept harping on it during the whole season of danmachi. I had been saying that he has a gap in his abilities that y'all are not addressing. So he tried to say, oh yeah, you keep reaching for something. You need to turn that into a feint. Why didn't y'all just give him a fucking sword, bro? Why didn't y'all give him something to put in the fucking hand? So now when he meets Eyes and she gives him the sword and completes his fighting style and now reminds him of everything that she taught him, I love the fact that she didn't remember exactly everything that they did, but all the feelings of, she's like, I feel like I should be fighting with you on that wall. I feel like I should be teaching you how to like close combat and how to become a better person, and we should be iron sharpening iron. I feel like that you're that person for me. And it was gorgeous because that's exactly what they were. But she doesn't have the memories, but that's just her feelings. She's like, when I look at you, this is what I feel. And it's one of those moments like I make jokes about, oh, I don't think Eyes likes Belle like that. And it's in her own way, like that is a connection that you just can't forego. That's a connection that you just can't forget. She don't usually train or do not want anybody, but with him, she chose to. She wants to. She feels the urge to. There's a lot to be said there. And that's why I thought it was a beautiful moment of like it's acknowledgement at a deeper level. And even him saying out loud, he's like, see, this is why I admire you. This is why I adore you. It's like, yeah. I was like, this is a good use of Eyes. I truly have said it in the past. You know, the way danmachi uses Eyes with Belle, I feel like, why are we even talking about Eyes? But this one, they cooked the fuck out of this one. Maybe it's because it felt like it was out of left field, or maybe it's because we're at such a low point of desperation with Belle that he's reaching, clawing, trying to grab at anything, and for her to be the one to pull him out of the filth. It's like, all right, girl, you're worthy. You can have him. Part of him, at least. You don't have to share. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I think Eyes is down to share with Hestia, bro. Just like Freyo is down to share with Ryu, I think Eyes is down to share with Hestia. And I don't think she would blink. I think she'd type. I don't know. Eyes cuck? Possibly. Possibly. But we won't know. And last but not least, the episode of the week. This is for all the haters. Episode of the week is gonna be fucking Arcane. They dropped 3 goddamn episodes of fucking greatness, bro. The finale was wild as all fuck. They showed us the Jinx depression. They took us on the Jinx depression tour. They took us on the Caitlyn depression tour. They took us on the Vi depression tour. And then they took us on the goddamn Jace fucking nightmare realm, fucking marching through nothingness by his goddamn self. And of course, we got Echo and Heimendinger out here just chasing bitches, getting baddies, and doing science. It was absolutely wild and insane. But the way everything wove together and culminated, it was like braiding a fine wire together to create a perfect electric pulse to freaking zap your whole goddamn system. They did fantastic. They did a fantastic descent into hell on every level. To seeing the degradation of the entire society. See, Jace coming to terms with what he has to do, and we see why when he came out and he did what he did, why it was so important. We understand why and who influenced him to do the things he decided to do. Just to see full circle, it was Victor himself putting him on that path. It's fucking beautifully written and poetic as all fuck. The final battle, having the people of the Zonites come through to fight together with the people of Piltover, because they've realized, like, yeah, no, if Victor wins, we all lose. So like it or not, we're gonna have to work together. And Piltover, reluctantly, like, bowing their heads in, respecting them and bringing them in, and everybody fighting side by side for a greater cause. I thought it was beautiful, man. I really thought it was beautiful. The timeline with Powder and Echo figuring out time travel was interesting. Is that Silco and Vander actually fixed Zon, and everything was okay besides Vi passing. In that timeline, from my understanding, in season 1, when they went to go steal the Hex Tech, in this timeline, they fucked it up somehow. Vi dies, and Hex Tech never takes off. So Hex Tech doesn't take off, the Arcane doesn't take over, but Silco and Vander fix Zon and Piltover, and everybody's living in harmony besides Vi. It's one of those ones where it's like, yo, this universe has minimal loss, and it's kind of dope, but I don't know if I want to stay here or not. And it's like, I'm gonna fucking stay, bro. To know Heimendinger was chilling for like 3 years doing nothing is absolutely fucking hilarious to me. I can't imagine what he thought he was waiting for, what he was trying to do, but it's very much in his character he would have just stayed in this timeline and done nothing. He just would have done nothing. I love the cinematography of Arcane, and this is why a lot of times I think people want to be told what's happening, but the cinematography team of Arcane does a fantastic job of not telling you but showing you shit. They show you with the cuts, they show you with the transitions, they show you with the change of music, with the montages, and I thought they did a great job of switching between Echo and Heimendinger, and then like you're like at an up point with them, and then you see Jason, you plummet down into nothingness, and then Jace starts giving you hope, and you go back to Heimendinger and Echo, and you're like on this euphoric fucking dance party, and everything's going well, and then bam, you're plunged into fucking despair again when you jump over to Jace. I like the juxtaposition of the two storylines coinciding with each other at the same time, seeing that everybody, whether through the Hex Tech or through the Arcane, was shown exactly what they needed to be shown. I believe it's Victor moving the pieces where they needed to be moved to set up the most optimal way for him to truly achieve the timeline that has the best outcome for everyone. But I don't have proof of that. At times I could say it's the Arcane that did it. The Arcane is very much trying to break into the world, and it even has its own wilds and ways, and it's not always meant to be understood. So there's a lot to be said about that. We see Victor's going to achieve his goal. And Bessa's basically overthrown Kate. Vi's barely alive. Jinx is over life and just wants out. And there's one last big battle and fake out, bro. Maddie turning on Kate was both well foreshadowed and honestly not all that surprising. Like, was I shook in the moment because I thought Maddie was a good quiet bottom? Yes. But at the same time, to see that like she a little bit of a hater, because like there's no way she doesn't know that Vi is back in the picture and Vi and Kate aren't like doing stuff on the low. Like whether y'all together or not, like that's gonna create some animosity. That's gonna create a little bit of hate in your heart. But to see it go full circle, she was willing to kill her over it. Grade A hater shit. But thank God for Mel Madara. Oh my God, the MVP, the top bitch of the show. Good God, that she single handedly was like keeping everything together. I won't say she saved the show, because in my opinion, if I had to choose the MVPs, the true saviors, right? The glue that made all this work was Mel and Echo. Honorable mention to Jinx and Jace, but Mel and Echo played the most pivotal parts of the completion of Arcane. Mel on one side, having to defeat her own mama and the Black Rose, two entities that nobody had previously even known that they had to defeat until it was almost too late. Seeing how far Ambessa went into the pocket to really gain this power, she was willing to side with Victor and become an autonomous drone. It was perverted. It was disgusting because like she talks about all these ideals and values of the Noxians, but I feel like being assimilated into by a whole nother entity goes against that. And even to work with them is almost like a violation of your own nature. And it just left a bad taste in my mouth. So when she went out bad, I did not feel bad about it at all. At all. But I do like how Arcane finished. I love that everything came full circle. I love that at the end of the day, it was a form of the power of friendship, but it was also like a flawed person getting to the end, realizing that the path they took was incorrect, and then going back to try to do what's right. And there's a lot to be said about that for Victor. And then there's a lot of bravery on Jace's part because he objectively had like the most difficult road on this half of stuff. The road less traveled very much alone and in despair. And credit to him for never losing his light throughout the journey. And yeah, Vi and Jinx had like they got the worst shake of the ending though. They got the worst shake of the ending. There's a lot of speculation that Jinx is alive and she didn't perish. Seeing Echo and the time she spent with him really like got them to a point where she might not have been as self-destructive as previously thought. So I'm hoping Jinx is alive somewhere. There's been a couple foreshadows that she is, and I'm honestly not mad at it, but just leave her alone. Let her live where she wants to live and let her be where she wants to be. But yeah, episodes of the week goes to Arcane. Again, a beautiful finish. They have a flair for the fucking dramatics, and I thought it was awesome. I really thought it was awesome. It was a good ass final. But yeah, again, how we can run on Wednesday if you stream. I'm not gonna be here. Maddie couldn't handle being a side host. She really couldn't. Last episode was good. I care what anybody says, as well as episode 7. Yeah, honestly, the last trio of episodes were just fantastic. It was honestly just fantastic. Last trio of episodes, like I won't say they did no wrong in my eyes, but to conclude the conclusion of everything that we built to this moment, I thought the payoff was fantastic. I thought the payoff was fantastic. It just all made sense. It just all worked together, and yeah, I'm just not gonna complain about it. But this makes me more mad at disrespect towards the creators. Yeah, it's very much reached those levels of like, look, if you criticism, if you have there's some valid criticisms to be made about Arcane, but to take those criticisms and like expound it into like hate and vitriol, I'll never be on that team. I'll never be on that team, and I feel like that's where we ended up. Fact, we ended up on the side of hate and vitriol and not true criticism. So it is what it is. Whatever. But all right, that's the end of this episode of Sauce My Whole Radio. Please, please, please remember, make sure, comment down below on anything you thought in this episode. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings, how you felt. Who's your goddess is a goddess waifu Izakai? Let me know your choice, your sekai. What show caught your attention? What tip should have I jumped on? And what from the quest board really caught your mind? Don't forget, you can catch me live on Twitch doing Sauce My Whole Radio. If you want to call in every Monday night on Twitch, Crash Out King DN. We post this full radio show on Spotify and on YouTube. Sauce My Whole Radio. Make sure you look it up. I'm your host, the man behind the cam, DN, formerly known as Director Nasty. Remember, drink your water, wash your ass, and make sure if you got the sauce, you share the sauce.